typed the word there, and then it gave me the option of choosing, and I was trying to choose what it tells me. I chose the wrong there.
Oh,
and I told, even though this is my notes, no one will ever see. I was like, God damn it.
Yeah, that can't be.
I can't leave it like that.
I've gotten over misspellings and poor handwriting on my notes here.
Yeah.
Early on, I would redo it if it was bad, and nobody's going to see this.
Yeah.
Except me, and so who cares? But I would.
But then I keep telling you we're going to sell them. So.
Well. Somebody really wants to buy it.
Whose turn is it? I think it's your turn.
Yes, it is.
All right. Then you go then.
I'll go.
Fine.
I will.
How do you do?
What is it?
We're about to unfold the story of
Ghost of Frankenstein.
My son, would you destroy that which I, your father, dedicated his life to creating? What if it had another brain?
Whose brain?
Your brain.
Power! What good is a brain without eyes to see?
I warned you that you might regret this action.
Well, we've warned you.
Oh yeah, you've been warned. Welcome back to Frankenstein Minute, the podcast that dissects the Universal Frankenstein films, something like that, minute by minute, something such thing. I'm Tom Lang.
Well, it's film series. The only reason it's film series is because I don't want anybody to get their hopes up that we're doing, I don't know, Monster Squad, and isn't that Universal?
That's not Universal.
Oh, okay. I don't know. I thought they would.
No, we'd have to do the Monsters then, and we'd have to do Evil of Frankenstein.
Not films. Well, I guess there are films.
There are
just do the films.
2 films. There's 3 now.
Evil of Frankenstein. I didn't think of that.
Frankenstein, the True Story.
That's Universal?
Yeah.
Okay, but is that a film?
Well, it's a TV movie, but it's a movie. I mean, it looks more like a movie than some movies made at that time.
Okay.
It doesn't have that cheap TV movie look to it.
It's not shot on video.
Probably plays really well in a theater.
It's not a 3-camera sitcom set. And I'm Bill Evenson. That's going to sound like you edited it. I was just going on and on.
Start in the middle of a syllable.
And you join us for minute 56 of Universal Pictures 1943 film.
2 film.
All New Thrills, the original shooting script.
Yes.
And if you join us on Thursday, The Ghost of Frankenstein. And
that's all cut out because that ruins the joke now, you explaining it.
Okay, good. Thank you for cutting that out.
Yeah.
And if you join us on Patreon release day, June 13th, it's John Basil Rathbone MC was born 1892. What's MC? Why do I have MC on here? Is he a master of ceremonies?
He was a rapper. MC.
Basil MC. That's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
He was actually one of the original members of the Beastie Boys, but they just felt forward too many.
What would be a good? What's a good Basil line?
I'm not even going to try to rap. I could take and make a rap song with Basil.
If you don't mind, that'd be great.
You got plenty of time to do that.
Plenty of time in the day.
Yeah.
So happy birthday, Basil. He's 150, 130.
And he doesn't look it. That's the thing.
Yeah, that's just it. When you go see Basil MC, he's still got it, man.
He can still pack the house.
Still pack the house.
Yeah.
Sunday. If you were listening to this on Friday, thank you. Thanks for your support.
Your patronage.
Thanks for listening on YouTube. And also, are there ads in the middle of it? That's what I kind of wonder. Do they play ads?
I don't know. I mean,
because I have premium YouTube, and I think you do too.
Yeah, I do.
Right?
So I
haven't seen an ad in forever. I wonder what they do.
I have no idea.
If it's an hour and a half, does it just go an hour and a half, or does it
Here's
break
the thing.
in at random moments?
If you're listening to the sound of our voices on YouTube, tell us if there are ads or not.
Yeah. Okay.
But I really don't care that much.
If you wait until Sunday to listen, you can celebrate Ilona Massey's birthday on June 16th. She was born in 1910, so she's a sprightly 114.
And we'll be talking about her a lot next season.
Ah, yes, indeed. Monday is the anniversary of the death in 1986 of whom? You want to guess?
A lot of people died in 1986, so I got to narrow that down.
Yeah.
I mean,
I
would have to think
Hollywood, California. I don't know.
I don't know either.
Ted Kent. He's the editor?
He was the editor of Kiss Before the Mirror, which is a James Whale, The Invisible Man, By Candlelight. He did a lot of James Whale, it appears, except for Frankenstein. One More River, Nightlife of the Gods, which is in Universal Horror's book, but I've never seen it.
Yeah, I wonder if I even
Bride
have
of Frankenstein, Remember Last Night, Showboat, My Man Godfrey, Road Back, Son of Frankenstein. It goes on and on.
Okay.
He did 163 credited.
Happy birthday,
kid.
he died, but that's fine. This is the day he died. Also, June 17th, born in 1904. Can you guess? In this movie.
Janet Ann Gallo?
Nope.
No?
Born in 1904.
04.
So
okay.
this person was
it
30...
Ralph Bellamy.
Ralph Bellamy was born on this day in June, or in whatever.
You know,
fucking who knows?
go back to like minute 20 something, and you get the whole Ralph Bellamy bio.
There you go. But we're not here to talk about that.
We're not here to talk about Ralph Bellamy.
We're here to talk about Bela Lugosi, because we're talking about minute 56 of All New Thrills: The Ghost of Frankenstein.
Didn't we already do this minute once?
Oh, was this one of the 56s?
Yeah, this is one of the 56s.
And what did we do?
We did. It was minute 56 of Son of Frankenstein. Nothing fucking happened in the whole thing. So you had the brilliant idea, and I'm not saying that sarcastically.
I thought it was a different minute, but yeah.
No, a great idea
right now.
to talk about all the minute 56s.
Yeah, that's right.
And this was one of them. So I'm done. I've already talked about it.
Maybe that's what, you know what, we've done this wrong from the beginning.
Huh.
We should have done that every minute. Like minute one should be the minute one of all of the whole series. Yeah.
Well, all right, we're going to start over.
Okay.
How do you do? We're about to unfold the story of Frankenstein. It is one of the strangest tales ever told. I think it will thrill you. It may shock you. It might even horrify you. Well, we've warned you.
You've been warned. Welcome to, not welcome back to.
Yeah.
A brand new podcast.
Frankenstein Minute Redux.
Yep.
Yeah, Igor continues his drugged whining, but he'd rather be dead.
So here's where we are, folks. If you're not aware, this is our the last time we see Bela Lugosi in this film. It's the last time we see Igor in this series.
Yep.
And that's what you have to say about it. He's drugged whining.
Well, that's how he goes out.
I guess that's true.
You know,
but Jackie this morning
he doesn't get a big finish.
Jackie this morning
as Igor.
Yeah, I guess so. But Jackie this morning, well, in a way,
well, that's
we'll talk about it later.
That's the question.
But like Jackie this morning, we were watching. She's like, is Igor a bad guy? Because I kind of like Igor. Like she felt bad for him. I'm like, well, he murdered people. Well, who did he murder? Well, I'm like, yeah, he had the monster. I was trying to think, and I thought in this movie he's doing extortion.
Yeah,
he's a bad guy.
He's a bad guy. I mean,
but he doesn't do a hell of a lot in this one. To be honest, he's more of a force for good in this film.
Let's put it this way: it's like you probably wouldn't want him dating your daughter.
Yeah.
So
especially if your daughter is Janet Ann Gallo.
Yeah, absolutely not.
He's not dating her.
Absolutely not.
He's actually opposed to kidnapping children. He doesn't seem to think that's the way to go.
Yeah.
Which in this film series is, it's pretty extraordinary.
He actually objected to the monster killing Dr. Kettering.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So yeah, I guess he is a good guy.
Yeah.
He's a better guy than Ludwig, I guess.
True.
So yeah, she's right. Jackie's right.
All right. Goodbye, Igor.
Goodbye, Igor. Yeah, promise of a life forever.
Yeah.
You'd rather die than not have a life forever. So I'm not quite sure his logic.
I'd rather die now that I've seen the potential,
seen the promise of a life
forever. I'd rather die in this,
twisted,
fucking moldy basement in my broken
body,
broken battlements. I don't know. Broken battlements? No?
Dracula? Yeah.
Okay, bye.
Boomer can't take it any longer, so he douses a cotton swab the size of his head with ether or something.
It's interesting the way he does it, too, because he does it kind of really old school, like the way you would picture they'd use ether back in, like, say, the Mary Shelley days when it was a party thing.
Yeah.
You've heard about this. I don't know if it was the Mary Shelley days, but I picture it being around then.
No, I think it was probably later.
And they'd put it in a cup or something and then hold that up to your head. But he douses the back of, or he douses one side of it, then grabs that side and comes at you with the other side.
Yeah.
Which I think is how they did it, because they didn't want you to just get it all over you. But then he's put some thought into this, I feel like, because I'm going to go ahead and just guess that this is either water or nothing.
I'm guessing it's nothing, because it doesn't look like anything.
Doesn't look like anything happens.
Happening to the cotton,
Yeah. So, but the way he behaves is that he kind of reaches out far. I'm doing a visual, but he reaches out far and holds it far away from his face, which is how you should probably do this.
Absolutely, probably, yes.
I mean, it might be fun to get a quick whiff, but not right before brain
surgery. You're operating for.
Especially when you're the only.
The preamble.
You're the pre-op.
Yeah, the preamble to the actual operation is 90 minutes, as we'll see.
Okay.
And then we don't know how long the actual.
Well, there's multiple operations.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This part of it goes on for 90 minutes.
Well, we'll see about that.
No, I know that's true.
That's not my measurement. I don't have 90. No, I guess we're almost there. I guess we are there. I measured 89 minutes on that clock. Unless I'm very much mistaken, 9:54 to 11:23.
Okay.
And then what's funny is at 9:54 it looks like it starts, and then at 11:23 it looks like it stops, which is like in cheap B movies that they watch on like Best of the Worst on YouTube or Mystery Science Theater.
Right.
You'll get a guy and they'll go, okay, action. And he starts walking down the sidewalk. Well, you're supposed to start before, you're supposed to cut the part where he starts walking.
Yeah.
And they didn't do that here. It clearly stops at 11:23.
There's an infamous
Although
one.
having said that, I guess that makes logical sense, doesn't it? It would stop because now we're back to real time.
Yeah.
Okay, delete. Cut me out of the podcast.
All right.
Go back through every episode.
Cut you out.
Cut me out of
I try to cut as much as me out as I can.
Oh,
so now there'll be nothing
now we're
left.
in real trouble.
An infamous,
What does that leave? Squeaking chairs and barking dogs.
Barking dogs and like ice jingling in my.
Yep.
Okay, so what did you say? 89 minutes.
89 minutes of looking in microscopes.
Looking in a microscope.
Yep.
Random
water.
hands that are not. First of all, they're not Atwill's by any stretch of the imagination because they're fairly long and slender, and they're also two different people doing it because of the way the distance between them and the angles that they're.
Yeah, in order to not have a person's face behind it.
Yeah.
You have to figure out how to have two hands do something. Yeah. I guess the easiest way to do it is have two people doing it. Two different
people doing it against this sort of nondescript background.
Yeah, where you can lay in the clock. And then, microscope. Who looks in the microscope? Is that Ludwig?
Since they have like a cap and a mask on, it's really hard to tell.
And then
it's two old, chubby white guys, so it's really difficult.
So then what happens? Then someone puts down the tweezers. And picks up something.
Again, it's just nondescript surgical instrument.
Yeah, it looks almost like...
I'm sure it's something, but...
And maybe I'm seeing it wrong through some angle because it is laid over a clock and whatever, but it almost looks like a little fork on the end.
Oh, he's having his lunch while he's...
Yeah, that's right. He put the tweezers down.
He's like, God, I need a bite of something.
He put down the chopsticks.
He's got his charcuterie
and grabbed a
board
fork
off
because
to the side.
So you know what? I can eat sushi with a fork.
Sure.
Nobody's looking.
Yeah. So we're at 11:23.
11:23.
Yep.
And then right on time, Kettering comes up from downstairs.
It's the 11:30 Bowmer right on schedule.
He's a little early. He comes up from the downstairs. Okay,
yes.
So
that accentuates my point from a few weeks ago, or last week actually, that this is the auxiliary operating room kept at a lower temperature. That's
absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah, good point. Yeah, that's a good point. I hadn't thought about it. I was kind of surprised that I hadn't noticed that he came up from downstairs until preparing for this. I'm like, oh, look at that. You actually watch him walk up the stairs, and I guess I never thought about it.
Yep.
And he's carrying the jar.
Big jar full of brain.
And he sets it on a cart.
And I have a little side note.
Oh, good.
I just discovered that all of this lab stuff that we see was created for the film The Invisible Woman in 1940.
No kidding.
Which was like one of the most expensive of these Universal horrors.
Huh.
Almost all of this was built for that. And if you watch the film, there it is.
Wow. Yeah. I guess I'll have to go back and watch it.
You know, right down to the neon whirligig.
Put it on my calendar. Yep. Watch Invisible Woman. Okay. The whirligig? You mean the
neon
thing that you made into a lollipop?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
Got it. Wow, that's cool. Yeah. What about the thing that moves away so that you can go down the stairs?
That's definitely from Invisible Woman.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, almost all of this.
The brain in the jar?
No,
that's the only thing that's new.
Yeah.
Now, here's the thing. It's a brain in a jar, and I love a brain in a jar.
Oh, who doesn't love a brain in a jar?
It's a Frankenstein staple. Are you looking for one?
Got a brain in a box up there.
Brain in a box.
Rhino put out it's a series of CDs with like sci-fi related songs from like the 50s, 60s, and 70s.
And it comes in a brain
with like a lenticular image of a brain that looks 3D.
Yeah. I have a friend who's a big Doctor Who fan, and he.
Are you kidding me? Really?
He likes to set his action figures out on display in a particular area, like on a shelf like this, actually, with his DVDs or whatever. And one time when I went over there, he had a row of people with exposed brains. They either were holding their brain or their head. There's like a Cyberman who's got an exposed brain on the top. There's a couple of those. There's a guy who's just a brain, obviously.
There's a number of brains in jars.
Oh yeah, brains
right
in jars, absolutely, exactly like that. Yeah. That's what this is.
Yeah, who doesn't love a brain in a jar?
Yeah, it's fucking awesome.
Well, I posted that picture a few weeks back. We were at Panera Bread, and there was a brain in a jar.
What?
Didn't you see that? I posted it on one of the Frankenstein Minute things, The Village.
Did you?
Yeah.
Oh, I remember this now. Yeah. But you know why I'm confused is because Dino posted something on Facebook, a picture of a brain that he intended to eat.
Yeah.
Oof.
Yeah, no.
I mean, I'll try anything, I guess. Why not?
I guess.
Eat meat.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, I guess.
What's the big deal?
Depends on
what's your problem.
Depends on whose brain it was.
Yeah, I suppose.
I guess. I don't know if I want to.
Would you eat Trump's brain?
No.
Oh, did you make the sound effect? Did you put the sound effect in over me saying that name?
I'm sure I probably did.
You probably get kicked off YouTube. Is there two brains? It seems like...
Well, yeah, I was going to say...
Looks like there might be a series of them.
He struts forward to the camera, pushing the brain on a cart. Igor, no, Kettering's brain, right? This is Kettering's brain.
Yeah.
In quotes.
Right.
Apparently they were hydrocephalic because this is the biggest fucking brain I've ever seen. It's the size of a basketball.
Yeah. I don't know.
I mean...
Does it really come across? I guess so. Yeah.
It's
huge.
When
you think about it, it is a little bit bigger.
It's huge.
I don't know. I'd have to go back and rewatch it. I'll take your word for it.
I had a rubber prop brain as a kid that I got, at like Ben Franklin or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was like way bigger than...
You and Ben Franklin. You were there every fucking day, weren't you?
Yeah, we used
to see what other
novelty items.
Cards and I don't know what else they had.
Monster
comic books. Did they have comic books?
Yes, they did.
Yeah, the little
spinner rack.
Rack.
The spinner rack, yeah. Nope.
Nice.
God, I miss those days.
The music is good here.
The music is nice. Yeah,
I like that.
It's it harkens back to the previous couple films in that it's appropriate for what's happening on the screen.
Yeah, true. It's about time.
Which is not always the case here. Yeah. It's a great score. Don't get me wrong. I do like the score.
And there's no oboe.
You mentioned listening to it in your car. I put it on if I'm working down here.
Okay.
I just have all of the soundtracks that are available on a playlist, and I just shuffle them.
Which ones are available? I have House of Frankenstein.
Well, I have the
Frankenstein meets a Wolfman, the Wolfman.
The Bride. I have two different versions of Bride. Son of Frankenstein, Ghost.
Ghost.
I really, really wish that the Abbott and Costello one was available because that's a great score.
What if there's anything you can do now with AI?
I suppose maybe there is, but
maybe
that's smacks of work.
Peter Jackson, it does that. Peter Jackson's got a copy.
Yeah, I'm sure he does
for his personal use. Do you ever wonder about that? Like guys like Peter Jackson or George Lucas or whatever. Like, does George Lucas have a sweet, pristine print of the original Star Wars?
I would think probably.
Keeps it frozen in the bowels of the earth, like a mile below the earth.
It's probably one of those missile silos in Kansas or something where they store all that stuff.
Did they store stuff in missile? I thought it was in salt mines.
It's old mines, yeah.
Why salt mines? Is salt good for it in some way? Is salt extra dry, I guess?
I suppose, yeah. Kettering's brain, says Ludwig.
Yeah, what took you so long? You didn't you didn't just say fuck it and go get one from Gold Stop Medical College, did you?
Yeah. Sent some hunchback.
One of those abnormal ones?
Sent some hunchback nut job to go pick that up.
It's very fresh. Kettering's brain. It's all fucked up.
Drops and it was very fresh one.
Yeah.
There's a clatter.
Be right back.
Yeah.
It's all fucked up. Did you see the scarcity of convolutions? It looks just like the brain that, not the one that Waldman had an affair with because he loved it so much.
No, it's the other one that
he's the ugly, shitty one.
Just get this out of my sight. Yeah. I don't even want to see this thing
disgusting.
anymore.
He's kicking it around the room. And now we're going to stick it in there.
Do you know what it is? The consistency of like pudding.
Oh, is it?
It's very soft, actually. Yeah.
What's the movie This Island Earth? That guy's got a big giant brain. He's like a
up there.
Yeah, that guy. What's his name? He has a name, I think.
Mutant. The Metaluna Mutant.
Metaluna Mutant.
Or
he gets hit.
Charlie, I think, is...
on Mystery Science Theater?
No, I don't know.
On Mystery Science Theater, they call him something.
Do they?
Scrotor, I think.
Okay.
Something like that.
Yeah,
anyways, he gets hit in the head, and it looks like that. Like, well, maybe not pudding, but it doesn't look strong.
It's foam rubber, so yeah.
Yeah. Well, I don't even know if it's that. It looks more like pudding than foam rubber, to be honest. Well, it looks like it's really kind of...
That's what it's made of, but...
So pudding. My brain is pudding.
I think I've heard that. And if somebody can contradict me or tell me I'm wrong, please do. But
let's get that started right away.
Yep. But it's also not the color you would think.
Okay.
I think it's like kind of a pinkish color while it's in your head. But
like...
I'm not a doctor. I just play one on TV.
Like in the movie Hannibal, they cut open a guy's head and feed him his own brain, and that one's pink.
Yeah, I think that's pretty accurate.
Okay.
It's been my experience. Anyway.
Okay. Got it.
Yeah,
Did you see
that's a movie that I think deserves way more credit and respect than it gets.
Yeah. Well, I've said this, I think, on the podcast before, but that year, Ridley Scott sat in his seat when they announced Best Director, and he was so pissed that he stayed in his seat when they announced Best Picture.
Yeah.
And it was his movie, but it wasn't that movie.
It wasn't that movie.
It was that one I don't care for all that much. Although I think I'm going to revisit it because I think maybe I've missed the point somehow. But I feel like Gladiator is a favorite film of people that I don't care for. Like if that's your favorite movie,
that probably it's like. Well, I'm with you on Gladiator. For the record,
it's not as good as Hannibal, which nobody liked but you and me.
Yeah,
like they sold 2 DVDs.
That's basically right. Yeah, they do have it still, right?
Yeah, maybe I don't even have mine anymore.
Right there. All right, Kettering's brain, and Bowman kind of looks up like, well, yes and no,
like a guy who's got a secret.
Yeah. And it's very nice. It's very subtle. It's good at will.
He's doing good work here. He's always doing good work.
He's always doing good work. Usually, I can't think of a bad performance.
And he's doing it just with his eyes, of course.
Yes, because he's got a mask and
It's the pandemic, you know.
Yeah.
We never know.
What will he think?
There might have been a pandemic back then.
What will he think when he resumes life in that body and then the minute ends?
Yep.
What will he think? Can't imagine.
This is awesome.
Can't imagine, other than Igor, anybody being super excited to wake up in that body.
Well, I'll tell you what. We'll have more to say about that next week because Ludwig has more to say about it.
He has a lot to say about it.
But he does, yeah.
Any more questions, wise ass?
Okay, so I was all ready to go, and then I sort of just had my phone. I was kind of lazily just swinging it back and forth between my fingers, and I accidentally tapped something, and I have no idea what I'm doing. So back to business as usual. Oh, okay, that's right. It was this. Okay, so
it's only been 5 weeks since we've done this, so.
What's going on? Ba-bee-ba-boo. I don't know if this is the right one. No, it's not.
Oh my God.
Let's see. Nope, no, it's the same one. This one? No, that one. Okay, so that sound of the music and all the stuff that's happening right now as I'm talking means it's the time for the thing. And the thing is, got any wise ass comments, wise asses, brought to you by Patreon. Patreon.com/Frankenstein Minute, where you can sign up to be our friend, and then you get each episode a day early, I think it is.
Yes, it is.
And then, thanks to some of our Patreons, too, because it's happened now twice in the last 2 months. Where I forgot, and I woke up to a text saying, no Frankenstein Minute in my feed this morning. Like, are you people listening to this crap? A day early. And then that's great. Do that. Or even better, sign up at the wise ass level. Mm-hmm. And what happens then is you do still get every episode a day early and all of our bonus content, which we apparently still have some of that. Mm-hmm. And you get a copy of the minute at the wise ass level. I post it on Patreon, and you put your comments in there. And I'm distracted by, what is that? A Mystery Science Theater comic book?
Yeah.
Anyway. You know the drill. So that's what this is. Okay.
So comments for minute 56 are...
Minute 56 are, yes. The comments for minute 56 are as follows. Will Hohenstein writes, no wonder Ludwig bought that was Kettering's brain. That threw me. No wonder Ludwig bought that was Kettering's brain. Look at all those beautiful combinations. Yeah. And no distinct degeneration of the middle frontal lobe either.
Oh,
Ooh, that's a deep cut.
That is good.
Does that look like the brain of someone who lived a life of brutality, violence, and murder? I don't think so.
Nope. Not at all.
Yeah, that's true.
Although it isn't Kettering's brain.
Exactly. That's what I guess. That's what I assume.
So I think
this is sarcastic.
Yeah, I think so. But it also proves Waldman wrong because
it doesn't prove Waldman wrong.
Because this is Igor's brain.
It doesn't prove Waldman's wrong though. It proves that Waldman and Ludwig don't look at brains the same way, and I'm willing to concede that Ludwig didn't look at it all that close.
Oh yeah,
Waldman's I mean, you could be right. Waldmig. That's his Waldman and Ludwig. If Waldman married Ludwig, Waldmig. Waldman
fantastic.
Could be completely wrong. Absolutely, I'll concede that that's possible. But in this case, all we know for sure is that Ludwig didn't look at it and think the same thing.
Well, true, but
because presumably this brain should be about that.
Igor's life was a life of brutality and blah 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 blah.
On the other hand, there's the Bill Evenson theory, which is that Waldman is full of shit, and there is no such thing as a bad brain, and that anyone is able to be redeemed.
Yeah.
Which is not the message of these films.
No,
by any stretch of the imagination. Okay. Oops. Mike Herman writes, why the hell do you need a microscope for this surgery? Yeah, so what is he looking at? That's a good question. Yeah. What would he be looking at? I guess the only thing I always thought was, you're about to perform surgery. Like I'm now at the age that I and my spouse both have surgery coming up in the next month.
Do you really?
Yeah, and we both have to go in for pre-op physicals.
I'm trying to avoid it because I have to have my shoulder looked at. Yeah.
And when you had surgery, you had to have within the 30 days beforehand, you had to have gone for something called a pre-op. And so then they'll take your blood and they'll just look at your numbers just generally.
Yeah.
So the fact that I'm so old and think about these things led me to think this is perfectly normal. He has to make sure the monster is ready to go for surgery in some capacity. Like if he looked at the microscope and said, "Oh no, this guy's he's unwell."
Unwell. You're saying that's Ludwig looking through the microscope.
That would be my theory. But the other theory would be equally with Bomer doing the same for Igor.
This brain isn't fit.
It seems weird, like it's a spoiler to say Igor, even though the story has told us this is what's happening.
Yeah, I don't think it's a surprise to anybody at this point.
No.
We don't have to keep tiptoeing around it because it's
like we saw him actually give the guy the anesthetic.
Yeah.
And, just because we don't see him actually
cut his head open.
brushing his hair off of him
shaving
because he's shaving his head.
Yeah.
Do you think he shaved his head?
You would have
that
to.
would be a cool part of the montage. Shaving their heads.
Yeah.
Because you shave Igor's head, but I'm guessing with the monster's head you don't bother. You just cut it around that line and take the top
last
off.
week you just unscrew those little tabs.
Yeah, those little tabs holding them on.
Pop it right open.
Is those staples, like big industrial staples?
Well, there are some. I mean, if you look at the bride one.
Yeah, she's got staples?
No, not her, him.
Oh, okay.
The bride makeup.
The bride makeup,
he's got those big clamps, but there's also smaller that look like staples.
Yeah. Yep. Vincent writes, love the I thought... So I'm bringing something to it here. I thought it started with love the show. But no. Love the slow walk toward the camera and then Atwill and Hardwick's intense eye acting. Yeah, it really is. It really is good. And I like the slow walk too, because that in combination with the music and the fact, as we talked about, it's a brain in the jar. It's really effective. It's really pushing my buttons.
It pushes all the Frankenstein buttons as well.
Yep. What comment is this on? Oh, this is on. Are we done? Do we have
No, keep going.
All right. We have a comment on. This is from like a month ago. So maybe I read this already, but it looks like I don't. All right, I'm going to read Mike Herman's comment. That we probably did read. Why is Lon Chaney Jr. This is on minute 50. Why is Lon Chaney Jr. such a poor Frankenstein monster when all the ingredients are there in Lenny?
Yeah, we did
talk about that. But then I don't know if I read the comment from Chuck from Winnipeg. Wrote, maybe if Burgess Meredith played Igor instead. Tell me about the rabbits again, Igor. Yeah, okay. Well, that was worth doing.
Yeah.
Even though he's like, they're never going to read my comment. It's so long ago. He's crying, Maybe we made a difference in someone's life.
Yeah, I like
reading
to
this
think.
comment.
I like to think so.
All right, do we have time? These are kind of
Yeah,
extra.
keep going.
All right. Minute 51, Hunt Mason on YouTube writes, I love the way Bomer reacts to seeing Cloestine. Instead of freaking out at the sight of a little child in the arms of the monster, he's simply annoyed and can only say the child complicates matters, as if kidnapping wasn't a major crime in Visseria. Maybe it wasn't?
Maybe not.
Yeah. You'd think someone would try to find a way to get the child back to her father, if only to avoid major criminal charges. But then again, Bomer's track record doesn't exactly make him a great candidate to be a life coach. Here's what I like about that, is we'll have more to say about it.
We'll have a lot more to say.
I assume you can guess why I brought... for coming weeks, heads up, Bill brought his script
More
book.
dramatic readings.
There might be another dramatic reading coming up. All right, so how are we on time? We're over or anything?
No, we're fine.
Well, I mean, what I mean is...
Do you want to parse these out later on? Yeah, okay.
Okay. All right, good. Let's fucking do that then.
All right.
Over!